Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Abby if you are new here, and today I wanted to film this makeup look that I'm wearing right now for you guys. I've actually been wearing this the past 3 or 4 days and I have been in love with this look, so I thought that you guys might want to see it as well. I kept my skin really nice and full coverage and flawless, and then I added lots of highlighter just to make my skin look nice and hydrated and dewy. And then I kept my eyes really simple as well, but I did add a light wash of glitter to my eyelids, so that way it could be an everyday makeup look, but it was something different that would give your eyes a little extra pop. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. If you guys want to get this look as well, or just want to see how I did my makeup for fun, just keep watching. Okay, so to get started, I'm starting on a clean face, and I'm going to be going in with this e.l.f. poreless primer. I'm really loving this stuff because it does give your skin a nice silicone feeling that will smooth out any bumps that you have on your skin for foundation, and it also has a nice minty cooling sensation as well, so I'm really liking it. And then I'm going in with this Wet n Wild Coverall foundation. I haven't been using this that often, but I just found it in my drawer and I've been using it for the past few days, and I have totally forgotten how much I love this foundation. It is like $4 or $5, so it is super affordable and it gives you a nice medium to full coverage. I'm really enjoying this. I do find that it has a more natural finish, which typically I steer more towards luminous finishes, but I don't mind this at all. I think it does a really good job of just evening out my skin and making my skin look flawless. So I'm really enjoying it, and I will probably continue to use it because it is so affordable. It's just awesome. I'm using a Real Techniques sponge to blend this out. As always, I dampen it underneath the sink, wring it out so it is nice and damp without being wet. Then I'm going in with this Maybelline Better Stay Better Skin Concealer in the shade Light, and I'm applying this underneath my eyes. I'm going to go in between my eyebrows, on my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, and then on my chin. As always, this highlights your face as well as kind of brings those areas forward, which is going to in turn push your cheekbones back already without having to contour yet. We will get to that later though. I'm using this again just on my Real Techniques sponge. I'm just blending this all out. I actually have not been using this concealer very long. I just bought it probably about a week ago now, so I'm still testing it out, but so far so good. I love Maybelline concealers. They're one of my favorite brands for concealers, so I'm really enjoying it so far. Then I'm going to be going in with this Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer in the shade Neutralizer. I just put this on the most inner part of my under eye, just where I have the most dark circles. I want to cover those up, and this does a great job of giving it that extra power it needs. Then I'm going to set that all with my typical Coty Airspun powder in the shade Translucent. I have just taken off this sifter at this point, and I just stick my beauty blender right in there and press it underneath my eyes to bake it. I don't really actually bake, but I do like a lot of powder underneath my eyes to really lock that concealer in place and to make it last all day long, because it's really hard to touch up concealer throughout the day, because as you put cream products on powder products, they bunch up and get really cakey. So I like to just do it really well one time. So then I'm going to set the rest of my face with just whatever's left in the cap, just on an e.l.f. flat top blending brush. I'm pretty sure this is a blending brush or a powder brush. Any brush will work. Taking this e.l.f. brow pencil, I believe this is just the shade brown. There are only like 2 or 3 colors. This is the brown shade. I'm just spooling out my eyebrows and then going in and lightly filling them in. I always start with a clean line on the inner part of my eyebrow to really make sure that that eyebrow is straight, and then I fill in the tail, and that's pretty much it. There's not too much to my eyebrows just because I don't need to necessarily draw them on. I just need to fill them in. And then because I really did a messy job on them, I'm taking just some of that Better Skin concealer just on a Wet n Wild flat brush, and I'm just going around the edges, top and bottom, just to clean them up and make my eyebrows look nice and sharp. This is a nice way to make your eyebrows look really nice and clean, even if you made some mistakes. Then I'm just taking this Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel, and I am running it through my brows. Moving on to the eyes, I'm going to be taking this brown shade from the Morphe M350 palette, and this is just a transition color. I'm going to be using it on a Coastal Scents BRCN06 brush, and I'm just running this throughout the whole crease. You don't have to be precise with this at all. It's just supposed to be a nice blended crease. For this, I like to look down because it does allow you to fill your brow bone a little bit more. Get right on your brow bone. Then I'm taking this really light shade and just setting my brow bone area just because I wanted there to be more contrast between the crease shade and the brow bone shade. Then I decided to go in with a little bit of a warmer, darker color. I am taking this on the exact same brush, and I'm just going to, again, look down and run this really tight into my crease, where before we were kind of going everywhere. I wanted to keep this a little bit lower, but also warm up the crease area. So looking down allows you to find your brow bone and place your bristles right into it. I do have my brush kind of pointing downwards into my crease because I didn't want it to get too much on my lid. So that is why I'm doing that, and then I just go back and forth and blend it out until I see that it is blended. Then just going into my Morphe 305 shimmer palette, I'm taking those top two shades and I'm just going to put this on my middle finger. Fingers work the best in my opinion for shimmery, nice shades like this. And I'm just going to be popping that on the inner 2/3 about of my lid area just to give a base for the glitter that we're going to be putting on later. This will kind of give it an extra pop as well. You could totally stop at this point if you like this look and you just want to be nice and simple. You could totally stop, and I think that this is beautiful. If I'm ever in a hurry, this is what I usually wear. Now for the fun part. We are going to be taking this NYX glitter primer. This is one of my favorite things that I've purchased. It's like $12. You can find it at Ulta. If I ever need to enhance that shimmer shade on my lid as well, and I want it to be nice and metallic, I will put some of this on before that, and then I will go into my shimmer shade, and it is nice and bold and metallic. So here I'm just using that Wet n Wild brush, and I'm stippling on that glitter primer. This way that it will not have like such a thick glitter base, but it will be nice and sparse and spread out, which is what I wanted. Then going into that Coastal Scents glitter, this is in the shade Ballerina Dreams. I'm just going to be using that Wet n Wild brush, tap it into that jar, and then trying to kind of distribute that glitter around my whole entire inner 2/3. I do want it to give a nice dusty, like pixie fairy dust look on my eyes, so that is why I'm just trying to tap it in lightly and not so heavily concentrated of that glitter. And then just blending out all the edges. As always, you just want it to be nice and seamless. If you do feel like you got too much glitter, you can just go in with that and kind of wipe some of it away. So next I'm going to just line my inner waterlines with this NYC waterproof eyeliner, and I always get my eyeliner in the shade brown. Since I do have blue eyes, I think it just complements my eyes. Then I'm taking that very first brown shade, just that light transition shade, and I'm putting this underneath my eyes on a tiny Morphe Y22 brush. And then I'm taking this darker brown shade, and I'm going to be using this to almost act as an eyeliner, just very close to the outer part of my upper and lower lash line, just to kind of thicken up the lash line for my mascara, so that way they look more full and voluminous. I'm also doing this on the bottom part just to add a little bit of extra dimension to my outer corners. Then I'm wiping away all fallout just to make sure there's no random glitters on my cheeks. And curling my eyelashes, any curler will do. I believe this is a Revlon one just from the drugstore. It's like $2. They work really well. Also, the e.l.f. eyelash curlers actually work really well as well. Those are nice, affordable options, but whatever curler will do. Then for mascara today, we are going to start off with this Loreal Voluminous mascara in the shade Carbon Black. This is a hit. Everyone loves this mascara. It gives you nice, full, thick lashes, which I love. The only issue that I have with it is it doesn't catch onto my long fibers of my eyelashes, like the very tips of them. I find that it doesn't cling onto those very much. So that's why I'm going in with this CoverGirl Super Sizer Mascara. And I'm just focusing this on the very tips because this mascara does an amazing job of grabbing onto the tiny, tiny eyelash hairs that you have, and it just works so well in lengthening. It doesn't flake, it lasts all day. It's just a really good mascara. So both of these are like my top 2 favorite mascaras that I recommend. I love them, and I love them even more together. So I'm actually going to use the supersizer as well to do my bottom lashes. I did not record this part, my camera stopped filming, but I did do my bottom lashes as well. Another thing, if you do get a spot of mascara on your eyelashes, just wait a second, wipe it off with a Q-tip, and then go back in and blend, and you will be fine. Then I'm taking that Y22 brush, just taking the very first shade in that shimmer palette, which is a nice white shadow, and I'm putting this on the inner corners of my eye and underneath my brow bone to highlight. Now moving on to the face, I'm taking this Real Technique sculpting brush and Kat Von D powder. I'm taking those 2 shades, the middle shade and then the left shade, and I'm just dipping it into this, and I'm going to follow the hollows on my cheekbone, as you can see. And if I have an option to go up or down from that point, I'm going to go up, because that is going to lift your cheekbones. And then I'm also doing the sides of my forehead because I do have a really square head. I'm just trying to hide some of those points on my forehead. Then I'm going to take a Morphe 548 brush to contour my nose. I love this brush because it is so small and really nice and sharp. I really love it for nose contouring. I just started doing this. I've been loving the results. It's super easy once you get the hang of it, but practice makes perfect for sure, because it took me a long time to kind of get it where I like it. And then I'm just blending it back out with that sculpting brush, and I'm going to also blend it out just with a big fluffy powder brush, just to make sure there are no lines, because you don't want people to notice that you contoured your nose. Then I'm using this Morphe 527 brush just to bronze my whole entire face. It's nice, big, and fluffy, so it covers a lot of area on my skin. I'm using the Physicians Formula Bronze Booster to bronze my skin as well. I have been loving this, and I've been loving this huge brush. I'm taking this down my neck as well, just because I want to make sure my foundation matches. Then going into this Jaclyn Hill and Becca collaboration palette, I'm taking this shade Pamplemousse, which is a nice lightly shimmery blush topper, but I'm just going to be using it as blush today, and I'm just rubbing this. I wanted to stay on the outer portion of my cheeks and then lightly just hit my apples. Then using this really awesome Morphe Y14 brush, I am highlighting my cheeks using both Prosecco Pop and Champagne Pop that come in that palette. I love these for a nice strong highlight. This is a very noticeable highlight, but it looks so beautiful. So I'm taking it on my nose, on my cupid's bow, and then a little bit on the sides of my forehead, just to really add that highlight and make sure that it looks nice and poppin'. And then to move on to my lips, this is my favorite lip combo ever. I love it so much. I'm taking this lip liner in the shade Whirl from MAC. This is a highly popular lip liner, and rightfully so, because it is so beautiful. And I'm going to be lining my lips, but I'm also going to be filling in my lips a little bit with this shade, just because it is so beautiful, and I want this lipstick to last for a very long time. So then for lipstick, I'm going to be using MAC Faux, and I think that this color is beautiful. This is probably the color I'm going to be ending up wearing on my wedding day, because it is so beautiful. It adds a nice berry lip color without being bold and berry. Then to top it off, I'm going to be using this Essence lip gloss and XXXL Shine in Big Night Out. And this is the finished look. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I appreciate it so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.